let's start at the beginning. This particular year I had the opportunity to chair the family events and activities at the 42nd annual Georgetown Regatta. And we started out with a family events meet and greet, just a chance for all the families to get together. Didn't really know how things were going to go, but we had about 60 people that showed up for the meet and greet. We had lots of games and activities, but the most popular one of all was toasting marshmallows on the beach at a place called Flip Flop Beach. Gorgeous place, wonderful crystal clear water, place the kids can go out and swim if they wanted to. There's some places that you can swing on vines and stuff, rope swings. Just a beautiful, pristine beach, very secluded. It's at the northern end of Stocking Island, and we had a lot of fun there. It was a great opportunity for people to get together, for us to be able to share some of the things that were going to happen during the family events, and so we're off and running. The first event was building your own sailboat. This is a pretty popular event. Kids were challenged to build and create their own sailboat. They had to use whatever materials they could find. The only rule was they had to build it themselves. There were two categories. You could build a monohull or you could build a catamaran. We had some supplies for them to pick from. Kids also scrounged around and found some of their own stuff. They put a tremendous amount of effort into it. This particular trimaran that Wendell made was one of the top producers and won one in the sailboat race. But you hear more about that later on in the video, because they had a week and a half to prepare this. This is the first day. They're just getting started. Kids constructed sailboats. They took them and tested them. They came back and they made plans and revisions. They really got into it. Tremendous amount of effort involved in building these things. We had several kinds of materials. We had stuff that they could use for sailcloth. We had glue guns. We had feathers. We had just all kinds of different activities. We probably had maybe 17, 18 sailboats that participated in it. And now we're heading off to the next event. And this one here was really kind of special. The families were challenged to build a sandcastle. It was a family event, so families came together and worked together to build their own sandcastle. And the sandcastles were beautiful. This was Brooke Foster's idea on how to put this together. And the still pictures were taken by Brooke Foster. You can see some of the artwork that went into it and some of the effort that the families put in building a sandcastle. It's probably one of the prettiest events because the sandcastles really were sweet. Very well done, this particular one, and that was a soccer ball. This one here is a pyramid shape. Just a lot of different creativity as the families work together. The primary goal was to build memories, and that was Brooke's vision for it, and it certainly accomplished that for sure. Beautiful, beautiful place. I should mention Brooke co-chaired all of the family events with me, and none of this would have happened without her help. We worked together on it as a team, but it's just a lot of fun watching these kids put together these sandcastles and construct them and that. And not only that, but to build them in such a pretty and beautiful place. The sand was just wonderful, and that the water around is crystal clear here. And so this is just kind of an overview of what the harbor looked like where we were building the sandcastles. Just give you a chance to sit back and relax and enjoy the scenery. Absolutely gorgeous. This, by the way, is right at the peninsula where Chattanooga is located, and you're looking down into what's known as Hurricane Hole 1, or sometimes affectionately called the Fruit Bowl, because all the houseboats in there have fruit names like Mango and Tangelo and papaya and pineapple and puff. So a lot of them have different fruit names. This is out looking over the harbor. We had a total of 411 boats in the harbor during the regatta. So now we're going to move on, see what kind of new challenges we can come together with. And now we move on to family games. A bunch of relay games. And it was a lot of fun and exciting to watch the kids get involved. Here the goal is to see how many coconuts can get landed in a 5-gallon bucket. So they're tossing them across about a 10-foot gap and seeing if they can land it in the bucket. This particular series of events was put together by Amy on Sailing Vessel Jewel, and she did a marvelous job with it. This is the crab walk. Kids walking back and forth pretending they're crabs. They did pretty good at it too. Number of different events. There was part of this event they had to get fill a cup of water with only using a spoon, and they had to walk across and put it in to fill the cup of water. Here they're jumping in a sack. The kids are working really, really hard on making it work too. I thought this was the sweetest thing. He wanted to participate so bad, and he did a really good job, outstanding job at it. But a lot of fun here, tremendous amount of fun. They had a scavenger hunt they had to do, kind of an obstacle course scavenger thing where they had to go find different things that were hidden throughout the area on Chat and Chill. That was part of it. All of this took place on what is known as Volleyball Beach. Volleyball Beach is right there beside Chat and Chill on Stocking Island. There's 2 volleyball courts. We use the eastern volleyball court. While we were using the eastern volleyball court, the fun volleyball was getting ready to take place over on the other volleyball court. We had probably 50, 60 people involved in the family games. And now it's off to the next event. So let's see what we do next. This was my favorite thing. Was the teen photo contest. Kids were challenged to take photos of their own and put together, submit them over the internet on Facebook, and we got to put them all together in that. But this is what some of the teens saw, and I just thought the pictures they took and the enthusiasm that they put into it really made a powerful statement. And so now it's time to move on to the next event. The events were spread out in a lot of different areas. This interior took place right beside Chat and Chill, and this is making a conch horn. We made we figure anywhere from 70 to 100 conch horns that day. Very, very well attended. We had several of us that were cutting the tips off using a grinder. Other people that were helping out by knocking the centerpiece out in order to put it together. And that you use a little Bondo to fix any holes. When you clean a conch, they knock a hole into it to get the conch out. But then you take and you cover that hole in that. So, you know, a lot of involvement in it. There's a tradition in the Bahamas at sunset you blow a conch horn, and then somebody answers it. This is me in the orange cutting some conch shells to get them ready. Frank in the blue shirt is mixing up some Bondo in order to fill the crack. Bondo is like a fiberglass body putty kind of thing. If you're not familiar with that. But you can see how many people were in attendance here to learn how to make a conch horn. And the harbor was just filled with this noise at night. But that's what a conch horn sounds like. And now, let's move on. See what's happening next in family events and family activities. And this is it, the culmination of all the kids building their sailboats. And now it's time to race them. We race them across about 100-yard stretch of open water there in the fruit bowl, which is a very, very sheltered area. The kids have all of their boats finished. They're all lined up here ready. And you know, this is a look at what some of the vessels look like that they put together. They put a lot of work and a lot of thought into it, and they were extremely proud of their vessels. They're all lined up, ready to sail, and across the water they will go. It's a downwind sail. So as they're sailing, you can see the direction of the wind by looking at the flags in the background. You can see which direction the wind is blowing. So they're going to sail across there. You can see some of the boats lined up there in the harbor. They're all ready to go. Ken Granecki there is our race grand marshal of the race, and he is going to set them off on the way to go. And this is some of the prize winners, kids that won first place and were highly successful in racing their sailboats across. Just one of the you know, I mean, it's exciting partly because it's a race, but it's also exciting because of the enthusiasm the kids put into it. I can't speak highly enough about how enthusiastic the kids were in building these sailboats. They put a lot of work into it, a lot of planning into it, and they were successful. Everything up. This is the wrap-up event of the family events and activities, and that was an ice cream social. The way we worked prizes is as kids participated, their name went into a hat. The more often they participated, the more times their name went into the hat. And this is a view looking out across the harbor. Family activities was a success. probably 60 plus kids involved during the 2-week period of the regatta in a number of different events.